Let me speak from my heart. I'm a private troop in a 47 Mechanics Brigade, Magura, 1st Storm Battalion, 1st Squad, 1st Platoon. I have an injury. I lost my left leg in a battlefield in a Zaporizhzhia district. Always weapons. What we have is not enough because we just lose. We have a Bradley. It's a very good vehicles. It's one of the best. But Lend-Lease, it's finished, not the started. You know what I mean. Practically helping of United States, it's just finished. Many vehicles, many weapons, many Humvee, many Bradleys was destroyed. We don't have caliber 155 for the artillery. We just changed by FPV, first person view. United States government just promised, but this promise is only on a promise. The United States government is just betrayed Ukraine. It's not enough. You don't worry about Ukraine, but if we just fall down, Poland, Hungary, Germany, Latvia, Litva, and Estonia just fall down next. If you don't help us, you will be the next.
Hello and welcome to Protect Ukraine Now YouTube channel. I'm happy to share with you today an interview with Private Serhii Dziubanovskyi from the 47 Mechanic Brigade, Magura. Serhii fought in the Zaporizhzhia region where he lost his left leg and then went through rehabilitation in New York City. I believe all of us in the US who say that we stand with Ukraine need to hear from people who are on the front lines of this war because they are first and foremost need our help. Understanding their needs, feelings, and perspectives is very important when we advocate for assistance to Ukraine. I know many of you who would be listening to this interview next week are at Ukraine Action Summit in Washington, D.C. And I ask you to pass down Serhii's point of view on the situation on the front lines to our senators and representatives. Finally, those of you who frequently follow this channel know that we are critical of the quality and quantity of military assistance to Ukraine by the American government. Let me assure you that we haven't made any behind-the-scene agreements with Serhii, and he 100% speaks his own mind. It just so happened that we agree in many ways. So without further ado, interview with Private Serhii Dziubanovskyi. Hi, Serhii. Thank you very much for this interview. Protect Ukraine Now is an analytics agency. We take in all the data related to military assistance for Ukraine and look at these numbers. We make graphs, tables. It is very important for us to also get feedback from people we intend to help the most. Of course, in this brutal, horrible war, our defenders are the most important people to help. They're on the first line of defense, and they need all the assistance we can provide. So, can you please tell us a little bit about yourself and maybe like your experience with this war?
At first, thank you for the invite for this interview. I hope so. You will be satisfied my answers. Let me speak from my heart about my person. I'm a private troop in a 47 Mechanics Brigade, Magura. I was in a 1st Battalion, 1st Storm Battalion, 1st Squad, 1st Platoon. I have an injury. I lost my left leg in a battlefield in a Zaporizhzhia district, village Malotokmachka. I was in New York City in a prosthetic treatment during the 77 days. practically to the end of this year. I have a very good two protests. I just came in the end of this year. I was very satisfied just visit New York City, just saw United States of America. I appreciate for the help ordinary Ukrainian soldier. I was in a non-profit kind deeds organization in the United States, citizen of United States, people who live in the United States, just helping us with rehabilitation, with ordinary helping, with such a have a good enjoy time in the United States. I more than satisfied. That's all I can. I hear you.
Oh, well, first of all, of course, thank you for your sacrifice. Thank you for fighting for Ukraine, and I'm glad that you were able to get a good treatment here in the United States. Can I ask you about weapons situation on the front? You know, it's very hard to give some absolute data. I wonder if you could compare how the situation is as of lately compared to maybe 3, 4, 5 months ago, 6 months ago, how that's changing as far as quantity and quality of weapons.
First of all, I want to just explain. I'm not an expert in the military problems with weapons because I'm a ordinary private troop. That's why my opinion, my thing, it will be not very important. I just ordinary person, but how I see this situation. Always weapons. What we have is not enough because we just lose. For example, is in our mechanist brigade 47, we have a Bradley. It's a very good vehicles. It's one of the best. Maybe you saw many situations. For example, in near of Avdiivka. A few days ago, in a village Tonenke, it's a Avdiivka district was destroyed. 36 tons of the Russian army. It was destroyed by the Bradley, and in the area what our mechanist brigade is taking in our platoon was one of the most famous journalists, Dmitro Rybakov, and he was, because he's died in a battlefield, one of the clever person what I just met in a Ukrainian army, and he just wrote about the land lease. How to explain? Very yeah. But land lease, it's finished, not the started. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. We never used that channel.
Yeah, because administration of Joe Biden do everything for the this program is not begun because it's difficult. I can explain your political situation with the president, maybe with the next president, it's maybe Joe Biden or Donald Trump, is very difficult, and we are depend from the situation what's happened in the United States. But war is gone, and practically helping of United States, it's just finished. You know what I mean?
Yes,
because,
absolutely.
Yeah,
the assistance has been practically stopped since December of last year, and we definitely need to improve the situations, and I'm sure that the weapons from the West is very important to Ukraine. Can you tell me maybe a little about your experience with U.S. weapons? Are they good? Are they maybe better than other weapons that you may have from
Yeah. Uh,
post-Soviet times? And I'm also curious if they come in a good quality, or do they need repairs before you can use them, or they mostly in a good shape?
I'll tell you, Mr. Alec, about a personal my weapon. It was M16A4. It was American weapon because I was a major shooter in my platoon. We have practically in our first Storm Battalion, we have a M16. Before we have FN FNC, it was a weapon from the Belgium, but it's not good. And we before just counter-offensive, we just changed FN FNC by the M16A4, practically in a whole battalion. Yeah. We have in our brigade Bradley from the United States of America. We have tanks of Abrams. We have from United States. We have in a Paladin. We have Humvee. We have maybe it's all, but many vehicles, many weapons, many Humvee, many Bradleys was destroyed. During the counter-offensive, what's happened in a beginning of June, July, August, in the south of Ukraine, in a Zaporizhzhia district, in a Verbova street, in a Robotino, Verbova village, Robotino village, in a Malato-Kamachka village. It's a war. It's a difficult and
Obviously you're losing weapons, you're losing gear,
yeah,
you
whole
need replacement.
whole weapons. I said just one hetman of Ukraine, Bogdan Khmelnytsky, what just created by the hand of people can be destroyed by the hand of sane people.
Yes, absolutely. So what would you say is most important category of weapons that needed right now?
Ukrainian people is very clever and very flexibility people. We can change. We don't have caliber 155 for the artillery. We just changed by FPV, first person view, and our victories and our destroyed exactly tanks, special equipment, and cars in a battlefield we can destroy by the FPV, but we need 155 caliber from the Paladin, from the Archer, from the Crab, from the, for example, NATO. Whole NATO equipments is the same caliber, but we need it. We need it.
So
absolutely.
ammunition is the most important thing for all sort of ammunition.
United States government just promised, but this promise is only on a promise. It's not a thing.
Yeah, and this is very frustrating for us as well. So from we have seen doing the analytics, a lot of help comes in small packages distributed over a long time. And this all comes under this strategy by current administration for as long as it takes, if we can give it a name. And this strategy of, in our opinion, needs a change. We need more assistance, significantly more weapons, and frankly, a different strategy, a different approach. Would you agree, or you think that if we continue with the same approach, Ukraine can be successful?
The United States government just betrayed Ukraine. It's not enough helping and help what you just gave us from the end of this year is not enough. Avdiivka is last exactly about of this problem, because we don't have artillery shooting. We don't have a very large caliber. Thousand and thousand tanks are just standing in a desert of Nevada. Abrams, Bradleys, many thousand special equipments and Bradley and Humvee just arrived to the Greece, to the Romania, to the Netherlands. Why? These weapons is just standing in a Europe continent. We need it in a east part of Ukraine, in a southeast part in Ukraine. We need this weapon exactly in Ukraine, because if we just don't stop Russian army in these borders, or what we have now at this moment, this flame is just gone outside. Whole European continental will be just burned and just burn it up.
This war is definitely going to spill out into other countries, other regions, and I totally agree. We have done very little to help Ukraine. The reason we do the analytics of weapons, because there's so little, and we doing these very precise calculations to show the public here that Ukraine is actually fighting with very little weapons, and we need to do much better for Ukraine to be successful.
Exactly.
And we're going to be in Washington D.C. in a few weeks together with the American Coalition for Ukraine, and hopefully we'll be able to pass down your message that we need significantly more weapons, that the current strategy, for as long as it takes, doesn't work. If we can do a program and lend lease or a similar program that would allow US to transfer in bulk the old equipment that is currently on conservation, has no particular use here in the United States, that would be a game changer for Ukraine.
I was in a United Nations we was just invited in the United Nations in New York City, but I was very unhappy in this walls, because I think United Nations is one of the most, I think, type of United Nations. United Nations has one of the most judges in a whole world is just gone. This organization must be a reorganization, and previously organization before of United Nations was a League of Nations. After the Second World War, we just was found with the help of Ukraine, how the part of USSR, United Nations, but many wars and many dictators countries, for example, North Korea, Iran, for example, it's Russia, just standing in a top of United Nations and was blocked a normal decision, and few days ago was just blocked North Korea agreement with the watched by the program of North Korea, and that's why many rocket launch just came in Russia, for example, and after it was shooting by the Kharkiv city, by the part of East Ukraine. United Nations is a sucks. I'm sorry.
Let me ask you a little different question. I admit right away it's a little hard question to ask, but just your personal opinion. This current strategy is right now at a stage where we have this bill that is soon to be passed, and we analyzed this document. It looks insufficient to help Ukraine in this year. So, and we have two options. Really, we can all stand behind this legislation, behind this aid package, and support it, or we can try to improve it. And if we're going to attempt any changes to the current aid package, the current legislation, we may lose time, we may lose the assistance, it may be differently packaged, it can come late. So there's a lot of risk involved in changing package to Ukraine, this aid that is currently being proposed in HR 815, or we can try to push it through. So both of them carry risk. On one hand, we have insufficient help. On the other hand, we can lose it all. We can delay it. We can compromise even that little assistance that's already on the table. From the urgency perspective and looking in a long-term strategy, looking in the long-term success of Ukraine, is this better to compromise and get what we can get now, or should we fight for a significantly different and improved assistance for Ukraine?
Oh, it's hard to explain. If I even don't know.
It is a hard question. I don't have a good answer myself.
I think your country and your political system and your top politics in a Congress, in a government, and in a president, Mr. Joe Biden is, and next president, it's your politics is just worry about your cabinets, about your
Our priorities here at home.
elevation, and you don't worry about Ukraine. But if we just fall down, Poland, Hungary, Germany, the few countries in for example, Latvia, Litva, and Estonia just fall down next. But its country from the NATO, no Atlantic Treaty Organization. If you just don't help us, it will be a tragedy. It will be a begin of the Third World War. And after, when we just fall down, for example, private troop, for example, John Smith just will be help and will be fighting near the Warsaw or Krakow, for example. If you don't help us, you will be the next, because it's only begin of big war in the future. I think Putin is just not stopped. I think.
That's a very serious concern, and we'll certainly be sure to pass this take down to our Congress people when we're in Washington in a few weeks. They certainly need to understand that this is how Ukrainians see it from the front lines. That's how they see it from their cities. And unfortunately, you are correct. In the United States, we don't see that immediate danger to our way of life. Some people do. A lot of people still need to wake up and take it seriously. Thank you, Serhii, for your service. Thank you for this interview. I very much appreciate your time, and I wish you a speedy recovery hopefully talk to you soon.
Thank you, Mr. Alec. Thank you, appreciate for the helping. It's not enough, but it's help. We need more. We need more and more. We need F-16. We need the ATACMS. We need GDAM. We need long launch artillery. Because it was a lot of destroyed. We one of the biggest country in the whole world. We just small people, small country, and we're fighting. We are fighting for our freedom. We're fighting for our house. We're fighting for our parents, for our wives, for our children. We're just standing in on our native ground. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much again. And we'll talk to you again, hopefully soon.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.